there, my name is Abigail and you're welcome to this week's edition of Come on the Go. On the show today, we shall be moving on from talking greetings to something that is fundamental to speech. And that is a sound without which I dare say it's almost impossible for you to speak English correctly. The sound is called the schwa. You can see it written the way it is written right on your screen now. It's written like the upside down E. It is called the schwa. If you're used to phonetic symbols, or if you're used to using your dictionary to find the pronunciation of words, you may have found this letter appearing in a number of words in the English language. Now the name, as I said, is the schwa, but it sounds very different. The sound is Now there is something about the schwa. Some have described the schwa as being a chameleon, meaning that it takes on the coloration of the letters surrounding it. So you have to be just a little careful with the use of the schwa and take note of the various coloration depending on the consonants surrounding it. Again, the sound is Well, if you're having difficulty with that sound and you're from the eastern part of Nigeria, the eastern part of Nigeria, then you would have heard the name of the Igbo vegetable ukazi. Ukazi. Good. If you've ever said the name of that vegetable ukazi, then you have said the schwa, because the first sound in ukazi is the schwa. Very good. Now, one thing to note is that the schwa is very responsible for faint syllables in English. Some call them weak syllables, but I choose to use the word faint. For every word that you say in English, there is a loud part and a faint part. Now, for most of the faint parts that you see, you can conveniently replace with the schwa. And when you replace it with the schwa, it gives you a different kind of fluidity when you're pronouncing the word. Again, the sound is very important sound. You must work hard if you want to actually speak English correctly. You must work hard at mastering the sound of the schwa. Now, let's take a look at how the schwa acts, how it behaves, how it makes our speech. Particularly in talking about Nigerians now, how the schwa makes our speech different from the Englishman's speech. Now, if you're from the Yoruba-speaking part of Nigeria, then you'll be conversant with the name Babalola. Yes, that's the way the name is said, Babalola. What you notice when you say that name is that every syllable is stressed. Babalola. All the syllables are stressed. Now, that is not how it works with the English language. When you speak English, some of the syllables are said faint, while some are said out loud. At least one syllable will be said out loud, while the others are said faint. And that's partly responsible for your, if an Englishman, for instance, were to say the name Babalola, he wouldn't say it that way, saying all the syllables out loud. He'll probably come up with Babalola or a variation of it, Babalola. That's probably the way he would say the name, because he's applying the principles of his language to a native language. So same thing happens with us. We carry over the principles of stressing every syllable in the word that we have in our native languages, and we carry it over to English. What happens then is that the words that we say appear too stressed. It's like you are hitting a door constantly. That's the way it will sound to an Englishman, because you're not applying the rules of loud and faint syllables. Well, in the coming weeks, we shall be paying attention to how to apply the principles of the loud and faint syllables, not only to individual words, but also to sentences as well. But before I leave you today, we're going to take a look at certain words. I've picked these words randomly, and we'll be paying attention to how these words are said, applying the principle of loud and faint. Okay? Now, just take a look at the words. Each of the words I say will appear on the screen, so you can follow up and see exactly how the words are pronounced, taking a note or taking into consideration the principles of loud and faint. Now, pay attention to these words. Teacher, teacher, teacher. Did you take note that the first part of the word is said out loud while the second part is faint? So it's not teacher with both parts being said out loud. You have one part loud, one part faint. Teacher. And this is a basic principle in the English language. Loud and faint. Don't forget the principle of loud and faint. Loud and faint. Now let's take some more words. Doctor. Again, take note of loud and faint. Doctor. Doctor. The loud part and the faint part. Now let's look at the next word. Convenient. 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 You can see, you can hear, sorry, both hear and see, that when that word is said, the first part is faint, the second part is loud, and the third part is faint again. Convenient. Natural. Natural. Now, I'll take the rest of the words and you can take note. Observe. Observe. Twitter. Twitter. Purchase. Purchase. Banana. Banana. Cucumber. Cucumber. Watermelon. Watermelon. Now take note of how those words are said and take note of the principle of loud and faint. Not every syllable in a word is said out loud. No, one syllable is usually said out loud while the others are faint. But the question is, how do you know which syllable to say out loud and which syllable to say faint? Well, that will be the topic of our discussion in the next lesson. But before I go, let me leave you with some words. And let's see if you can guess what the words are. If you guess right, please use the comment section and tell me exactly what words you think you heard. Orange, pineapple, guava, squirrel, Hanoi. Alright, that's it on Come on the Go for today. For this section of Come on the Go, if you enjoy this, you'll probably also enjoy our session on business English coming up right after this.